Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, the Excellency, the educators. I'm Asyifa NURAZIZAH as the first speaker from the opposition team from INSAN CENDEKIA BENGKULU Tengah. I'm so happy today, and our motion is about this house regrets mergers and acquisitions within the technology industry. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to know that merger and acquisition is a process of merging companies or more into one company only, where the company takes without the object in front of the assets and non-assets of the merged company. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to my argument, and I have two arguments today. First, about the risk after merger acquisition in the technology industry, and then the second is the way how that many companies have overestimated the potential of synergies and have underestimated the possible negative impact of merger and acquisition on the process of innovation. We go to the first argument, the risk after merger acquisition in the technology industry. Essentially, security concerns have translated technology risk into increasing business risk. From the data that these risks are a major cause for many mergers and acquisitions to fall apart to deal is completed. Data privacy, security, and data breach risk are important due diligence issues in the deal landscape. And then we go to the second argument, the way how that many companies have overestimated the potential of synergies and have underestimated the possible negative impact of merger and acquisitions of the process of innovation. A wave of mergers and acquisition is taking over the entire world. Companies have always used this strategy to grow and consolidate and to eliminate competitors. Moreover, one of the main arguments for carrying out these deals has been that they create the synergies. However, many companies have overestimated the potential of synergies and have underestimated the possible negative impacts of mergers and acquisition on the process of innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, quote from Sudha in Payamta and Dodi Setiawan that there are a lot of risk of mergers and acquisition, and there are negative thinkings about these. Like, first, the cost to carry out mergers and acquisition is very expensive, and the results are not necessarily as expected. Second, the implementation of the acquisition also has a negative impact on the financial position of the acquiring company if the structure of acquisition involves payment without in cash through loans. And then the third, the possibility of a corporate culture so that it affects the human resources to be employed. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about the company. It's also the technology industry company. We know about HP, Hewlett Packard. We're talking about Hewlett Packard HP. For some decades, HP has been one of the biggest and the best companies as well as in technology. The founders, David Packard and Bill Olet, founded the company in 1939. Some decades before Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak did anything similar in the field of computer hardware, right? Right. But in the last decades, by the scandal left by the chief executive, left a big question mark. It left a big question mark as to what went wrong in this mergers and acquisition HP. One example is the acquisition of the UK-based software company Autonomy for 10.2 billions. Also, autonomy's uptake into the founder of company was smooth in the first. We see they're smooth in the first, but they have scandal in some decades after. Autonomy's uptake into the founder company was smooth in the first, like we talked before. However, after a few months, HP management believes that autonomy is too expensive. It's also same about the quote from Suda that the cost to carry out mergers and acquisition is very expensive, right? And then this leaves a way for the company in the HP. This leaves a way for the company to overestimate its size and information about the large company. And nowadays, Hewlett Packard is currently facing 8 billion write-off. It's facing 8.8 billion write-off. So I have a conclusion that I'm opposite of this motion about request mergers and acquisitions within the technology industry, because it has a lot of risks. The risk after mergers acquisition in the technology industries. Also, many companies have overestimated the potential of synergies and have underestimated the possible negative impact. Also, the implementation of the acquisition also has a negative impact on the financial position, also in the economic position. Like example, we talk about the HP, etc. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least, I'm Asyifa NURAZIZAH. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.